Beezle. How's it going, buddy? Good morning, bees. Hey, buddy. Hey. Good morning. Go ahead and turn off Robo Doggy. Robo Doggy deactivated. Good morning, Beezle. Whoa, 15 out of 15. We must have got the Matt G channel back. That's great. I haven't seen 15 out of 15 in forever. We should put that on screen, man. Holy moly. Hey, Nick, what's up, buddy? We got 15 out of 15, bro, for the first time in months. I mean, when my other channel was on YouTube was down, you know, during that time, we lost one of the Facebook channels. So it never went back to 15. You know, it was always under 15. And now we got it back. So, Nick, I'm going to go ahead and refresh the chat. It's not giving me a chat number. I'll refresh it, but I see you've chatted. I saw everything you said. I just want you to know. What's up, buddy? 15 out of 15, bro. That makes me so proud to put it right back up there on screen, you know? And it's over the Bollinger Band at 39.1, guys. Bitcoin made it over that Bollinger Band. It's only got 3 more to go. 47 is the last Bollinger Band, according to Joe H. Mark Andrew Barlow. You know, I got something right here with your name on it, sir. And it looks like that. Enoch Mark Andrew Barlow. That's what people get when they play ball. That's right, people. Play ball or miss out on the fun stuff, on the free stuff. Let's see who plays ball today. You know what's funny? Yesterday, I asked the audience a question, and I was going to give out a triage oil to the first person that answered me. And nobody answered me. So nobody got any triage oil. You guys should pay more attention to my chat. Just, you know, if you want to try to pick something up, it might happen if you're paying attention and I ask a question, just a simple question. That's all I ask is that you guys participate in the chat. You know, if I ask you a question, participate in the chat. You might get something in the mail that you'll really like to have. I got to tell you, this morning, man, I was about to put on my my underarm deodorant. And when I went to go get it, I was like, you know, I'm not going to use underarm deodorant today. I'm going to try powder today. I'm going to try something different. And I was looking at the powder and I saw my triage oil was there. And I was like, I haven't put my triage oil on my toes yet this morning. You know, I use that stuff every morning. I put it in between my toes. And I don't even think about it. I rarely talk about it. But I don't get athlete's foot when I use it. And if I go weeks without it, maybe months, I might start getting athlete's foot again. But I found that if I just put, hey, Dom, I found that if I just put a little on every day, I never have athlete's foot. I never get those cuts between my toes or the fungus or whatever the fuck that is. It's great. So I tried powder this morning instead of the underarm stuff. And I've been experimenting with different things. And I'm just, this stuff I'm calling, it's this stuff I'm using now. It's called Burt's Bees. And I use it all over my body. I use it everywhere, and it's fantastic. And I just want to recommend it to you guys if you don't know about it. I know you might use Johnson & Johnson's baby powder. That stuff's pure garbage. It's fucking poison powder. Don't use it. This stuff is good. It's all natural. It's really nice. Burt's Bees. Check it out, man, if you're looking for a nice baby powder type product. One of my little man secrets I like to share with the crowd every once in a while, with the audience. Kevin, what's up, Kevin? Debbie, Dom, Nick, Mark. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Hello. So we got a late start because I did a late show last night. That was a lot of fun. We had fun last night. Got something I want to talk to you about today. I caught a video on Twitter this morning. And you know, it caught my eye because the first thing they were talking about women's rights, which I support all women's rights. Of course I do. And they're talking about a bill about women's rights that for some reason wasn't passing through the Senate. And I was like, I wonder why a bill against violence against women isn't passing. There must be something in it that people don't want besides the violence towards women thing, right? So I did a little research into it, and this is what I found. Or maybe I didn't find anything. Wait, let me go to my tweets and replies. Oh, great. This is CNN upload. This woman's name is Laura Coates. I have enjoyed her many times, her punditry and her opinions in the past. But I'm just going to go ahead and say this right now. While I agree with her that women's rights are very important and vital to all of humanity, this is not how you go about securing rights for women. So let's get into this, and I'll explain it. So you guys don't let any of these shit libs lie to you. I'm here to pull the shit lib sheets off of them so you can see them for what they really are. All right?
This week, there was a deal that was reached. So we need to talk about a headline that you may have missed this week. There was a deal that was reached on Capitol Hill to renew the Violence Against Women Act. And it came with the help of star power, too. Activist and actress Angelina Jolie, who's made several trips to Washington, D.C. in just recent months to push for this very legislation. And it was notable not just because her daughter shared in her advocacy, but by how emotional she got as she shamed Congress for its silence.
The reason that many that sense of work and suffering at this moment, and the many people for whom this legislation comes too late.
Well, I skipped because it's so overplayed. But I will just say this. What she's saying is that this law needs to be passed for the children. And that's when she starts crying. She's like, think of all the mothers and children that are going to suffer because this fantastic legislation is not being passed. That's the narrative, okay?
The women who have suffered through this system with little or no support, who still carry the pain and trauma of their abuse, the young adults who have survived abuse. And
Darkest Star, I'm going to put you on my Twitter. Thank you for that wonderful comment. You should consider leaving Twitch and coming to YouTube to watch my show. I get a lot of complaints from people on Twitch. Oh, did I say Twitter? I mean Twitch. You should consider leaving Twitch and coming and watching from YouTube just because so many people complain about Twitch. I have problems with Twitch. And if you're watching from Twitch and you're having video playback issues, maybe it's the service Twitch, maybe it is. I don't know. That's the problem I seem to have. But I'm going to go ahead, bro, and I'm going to put you on my Twitter right now. Hashtag Triage Oil. Thank you so much. I was just thinking about Matt Dillahunty this morning and how he misses out on this fantastic product, Triage Oil, because he's in denial in his brain about reality and facts. A guy who claims he's an atheist. All right, so Angelina Jolie is telling you that this bill is very important for women's rights because it's going to save countless numbers of children and women that get violence, that get brutalized by violence every day in the United States.
And emerged stronger, not because of the child protective system, but despite it, and the women and children who have died, who could have been saved.
But let me take a step back for a moment, because there's actually more to this headline that should bother all of us. It's frankly unbelievable that we even need to have a violence against.
There's way more about this headline that should incite rage in all of you people out there who don't trust the United States federal government, don't trust your local police officers. You support Black Lives Matter. You support your right to own a firearm to protect yourself in your own home, you might take exception. And it's interesting the way she worded that, because I totally agree. I want you to hear her say that again. Listen to her say that again.
But let me take a step back for a moment, because there's actually more to this headline that should bother all of us.
Yes, there is. There's way more to this headline than should bother all of us. And we're going to get into it. This is so fantastic because she's literally setting up my premise for my narrative on this entire issue. And it's so funny the way she worded that. And she's going to completely ignore what you should actually be worried about. But she'll talk about it. I mean, she's not completely ignored, but she's going to brush it off. What you should really be worried about.
It's unbelievable that we even need to have a Violence Against Women Act, but we do. It's also unbelievable.
You've got laws that are already Violence Against People acts. So those women are included in those laws. Just remember that if you commit violence against anybody, you're guilty of violence. It doesn't matter if it's a man or woman, and you don't need a special law for women. Hey man, what about me? I'm not a woman. Someone commits violence against me. I don't fall under your special Violence Against Women Act? Well, what about me? Oh, that's okay, because you're a man and you're protected by the normal law. The ones that the laws that don't protect women, they're only made for men. Oh, that's right. My bad. There already are laws that protect women against violence, guys. Don't for 1 second think that she's being honest with you that women have no protection against violence. They're called laws, and they're already here. We've already got laws against violence, all kinds of laws. And, of course, these liberals, they want some more fucking laws. But wait till you hear the earmarking and the poison pilling that they're doing to this law.
Unbelievable, the violence against.
Does anybody not understand poison pills and earmarking when writing legislation, creating new laws? Let me know in the chat if you don't understand earmarking and that sort of thing. In the chat, also let me know if you agree with this shit lib stance. Instead of leaving like the little pussies that some of you are, stay and let me know that you disagree with me. I'd love to hear from you. And why. Why you think it's important that my gun rights should be subverted over a bullshit law that already exists. It's already happens that you're not allowed to commit violence against women. Got news for you. Not allowed to do it. It's against the law. You go to jail for it. So what? You're just going to leave my show because you don't have the balls because I'm right. That's why you're going to leave my Hey, Gary, you made it to YouTube. There you go, bro. Yeah, fuck Twitch, man. Twitch is a bitch. Fuck Twitch.
Women Act was allowed to expire in 2018, but it did. And even in a political climate such as this, frankly, it's unbelievable.
Who was president in 2018? Who would allow a Women's Rights Act to expire? Who was the president of the United States in 2018? It was Donald Trump. There should be no surprise there. And that should let you know right there that Donald Trump doesn't give a shit about women's rights. Period. Earmarking is what you do to pigs to keep track of them in the barn, right? Yeah, good morning. You're 100% correct.
That it took more than 3 years to negotiate a way to renew, let alone strengthen that act. But it did.
Did the act need strengthening? Hey, don't commit violence against women. That's pretty straightforward. What's strengthening? Aha! You guys want to know the strengthening she's referring to? The strengthening of the Violence Against Women Act. Are you ready? You're about to find out. Oh boy, this is going to get good. I got to do a bong rip, man. I got to tone it down. Cheers.
What is absolutely unconscionable.
Cheers to toning it down.
Actually came down to the NRA. And why? Because they opposed a loophole. No.
Well, wait. Why would there be a loophole in a women's act? Why would there be a loophole about guns in a Violence Against Women's Act? Why are you trying to stuff gun legislation into a Violence Against Women's Act? And of course, if you do that, you're going to kill the whole bill because the NRA, because Republicans, because lefties like me who believe in gun rights? Are you fucking kidding me? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. So, you know, if you're going to earmark something, if you're going to try to stick some goddamn legislation into a place where it doesn't belong, this is what you get. You get people like me that stand up to you and go, no, dude, you're not taking my fucking gun rights away one little fucking chink in the armor at a time. You don't get to do that, you know? And of course, this woman here, she doesn't want to really recognize how important our gun rights really are. It's in the goddamn Constitution, right? It's the fucking Second Amendment, right? I don't know. I don't understand why these people, the liberals, have such a hard time with laws that we've grown as a country under since this country started. And now all of a sudden, we don't need guns anymore. Really? So we're going to take your guns in every possible way we can. And when you do, this is how you pay for it. And you ruin your own legislation and you piss me off because I'm pro women's rights. I wanted this legislation to pass without the bullshit that you inserted into it like a giant fucking cock on fire. You douchebags. Fuck you. God, I hate earmarking, man. I hate the poison pills. I fucking hate that these motherfuckers, that this is how we do legislation. And, you know, luckily we've got people like Rand Paul in our government. I'm serious. Ted Cruz, that keep their eye on shit like this and stand up and filibuster and use their positions of power so that we don't get fucked asses by the fucking corrupt ass government that all the communists want to trust, you know, to run their entire lives. Are you kidding me? Don't trust this government, man. And keep your fucking guns. Hey, man, if you're communist, then you want to surrender your guns to the government. You're crazy. No relation? You're not related to Janine Pirro? Dayglow. What? Pussy grabbing Dayglow bitch? What? Dayglow. Again, I'll say no relation to that douche. A lot of respect for you, Nate, but you really don't need military grade weapons for self-defense. Yeah, well, Cal, it just shows you what you know. You don't know anything about gun rights, and don't try to engage me in a conversation about them because you don't understand them. Okay, I wouldn't even waste my time with someone like you who doesn't understand gun rights. You know, Brap says, "Come take my gun." We don't all have guns or any rights. Yeah, Cal, and look, you fucking idiot. Okay, so I am going to engage Cal because he's such a fucking idiot. I wish all my Canadian friends were here right now. So let me just say this, Cal. Wow, you're a fucking moron. What did your goddamn government just do to you last week, you dumbass? Well, yeah, man, if you're going to make some sense, Cal, I want you to engage me in conversation if you're going to make some sense. You literally just used Canada as an example as to why you don't need guns while the fucking Canadian government is locking your asses up for protesting. God, you're a fucking idiot. You're just an idiot. He just called you a white bitch, Dayglow, as in really white. Called me? No, he's talking about Donald Trump, man. Hold up. Can't we not have a conversation? I don't understand, man. Settle down. Dude, you live in Canada. What do you mean you don't understand? How old are you, Cal? Are you an adult? Do you watch the news? Are you on social media? Or are you just playing video games all day, Cal? I'm kind of curious. You're literally just set up my own argument for me, bro. Oh, I'm in Canada. Oh, you mean that country where they just took all your rights away because y'all don't have guns and you can't defend yourselves? And they just shit all over you? Oh, we don't need, that's why, see, look at us in Canada, eh? We don't need guns here, eh? Look at us, eh? Yeah, look at you guys getting locked up and fucked up your asses and run over by horses in the street. Yeah, look at us, eh? We don't need guns, eh? What? I can't believe this dude lives in Canada. You've been 28. You're 28 years old. You've been following me since you were 16. And you're telling me that you don't need guns? Jesus fucking Christ. Dude, I'm just going to ignore you because you're not even making sense. Let's just keep moving on, guys. I don't even understand this guy. Wow. I can't believe some of the people in my audience, man. And then it totally makes sense as to why I have such a hard time getting you guys over to Twitter, where all the intelligent people are. Well, Cal, you've never shown me how fucking stupid you are, but today you did. And you showed my whole audience how fucking stupid you are. There's nobody in my audience that is going to agree with you, Cal. Literally, no one in my audience is going to agree with you. Go ahead. Does anybody want to agree that Canadians don't need guns the way they've been treated the last week? Last week. Anyone? Anyone that actually watches the news or pays attention to what's going on in the news or is aware of current events, what's going on in Canada, the whole trucker convoy thing. Everyone besides Cal Wayne seems to know about this. Wow, man. What, do you live in the mountains, bro? Do you not have internet? How are you even watching the show? I feel like I'm talking to fucking Rip Van Winkle. You've been asleep for fucking 20 years and you just woke up. And I got to explain to you what's going on in the world. And that's too bad because everyone else in this audience already knows what's going on in the world, right? Because they do pay attention to my... You just got 2 more guns. Good. You should. You should purchase more guns. Acquire. Why do I not see the chat? The chat's right here. Right under me. Chat's right here. Good. Everybody here agrees that Canadians really should have held on to their gun rights. And maybe that fucking little boy leader that you guys voted in up there, maybe he wouldn't have been so quick to shit all over you and take your rights away from you. If he had a little fear about his constituents. But there's no fear. And they don't. And so they're shitting all over you now. Mark doesn't agree. Actually, I do live in the bush and I don't like social media or the news because half of it is lies controlled by the government. You're the one who taught me that. Yeah, but Cal, you're not watching my show anymore, bro. You're not keeping up with what's going on in the world. You need to get your information from somewhere. The fact that you live in Canada and you don't know that the government is literally just locking you motherfuckers up over there for speaking out against the government, for marching in protests. They're taking horses and trampling y'all. They're beating you up. They're brutalizing you, man. I don't feel losing it on me was really right, man. I was asking so I could hear your opinions. I'm not arguing. Okay, it was just a silly question, bro. And you deserve the answer and the response you got from me. You totally did, man. It's like, wow. I mean, and if you just shut up for a few more minutes, you would have found out how fucking important your gun rights really are. But you had to fucking go popping off before I got through the goddamn, before I even got. Haven't even gotten it first.
The act ensure that anyone convicted, not just accused.
Billy's like, you're on. I know, right, Billy? Like, you're on social media right now. I know, dude. I love asking people silly questions like that. I mean, are you going to get on social media, bro? I don't use social media. Right. Okay. As he uses social media to tell us that. I know. It was so easy, bro. It was so that fruit was hanging so low, it was touching the ground, Billy. It already had fucking ants crawling on it. That fruit was so goddamn low. Anyhow, my point is this. Gun rights in America are standard. And you don't fuck with gun rights unless you want to lose. You're going to lose, man. Because there's enough people that lean left in this country that own firearms that you're not going to be able to pass the legislation that you want to pass. So quit trying to shove it down our throats. But I want you to hear what they did. And I want you to hear what the NRA did. And I just want to say this. Thank you to the NRA. I know that might piss some of you off, and I don't fucking care what you think. The NRA stands for me. The NRA speaks for me. Not all the time, but they protect my right to own a firearm, and they've done it for years, and I appreciate them. And if you want to be anti-NRA, well, then surrender all your firearms while you're doing it. Go surrender them to your communist government if you don't like the NRA. Me, personally, I appreciate everything that they've ever done for my rights to possess my firearms. I know they've done some shitty things that I don't agree with. They've said some shitty things. They've put bad representatives out there. They supported Kyle Rittenhouse and all sort of things that I don't necessarily support. But at the same time, hey, man, the enemy of my enemy is my fucking friend. And that's where I am with the NRA.
But convicted. as in due process occurred here, convicted of misdemeanor domestic violence would not be allowed to own or possess a gun. And for the last few years, senators have been trying to expand, and for the last few years, out to own or possess here. Convicted of misdemeanor domestic violence would not be allowed to own or possess a gun.
Misdemeanor domestic violence. Has anybody ever been involved in a domestic violence case before? Has anybody ever been accused of domestic violence before? I have. I've been accused of it. Do I beat up my girlfriends? No, I don't. But have I gotten into fights with my girlfriends? Yeah. Have they attacked me physically? Oh, yeah, man. I've been attacked. I've been brutally attacked by women before. All right? I'm a big guy. I can defend myself. And, if a girl attacks me, most of the time, I can come out on top, without really causing too much harm to them and, not getting hurt myself. Now, throughout the course of that, you might get accused of being the attacker. You might get accused of being violent. You might get accused of misdemeanor domestic violence. Hey, look, Hill House Hobo has been accused of misdemeanor domestic violence. I have too. I'm raising my hand. I've been accused of it. I don't know if I got charged with it because the charging thing in Florida was kind of weird. I don't actually remember getting charged with crimes, but I got accused of it. My ex lied to the cops after she tried to stab me. Hey, Nate, did you see the Supreme Court nominee? They nominated another chocolate sister. Girl power. Way to go, Gussie. We're glad to see that you're absolutely not paying attention to anything I'm saying, Gussie. Thank you for showing me that. Where all the Russia war updates, nay, keep me posted. Go watch somebody else, Joel. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm not your stupid little, and it's not a goddamn war. It's imperialism, bro. America does this right now. We're doing it. You're just not seeing the reports on that. Hey, why don't you go get the updates on America's imperialism, Joel? Why don't you go do that and then report back here and tell me what America's up to today? How many people have we killed in the last week? Suitcases at her. The cops found that she was just outside while I was tossing her shit on the lawn. Huh. Billy. So a lot of you have been accused of domestic, and it could be a misdemeanor charge. You may not have even been actually doing violence. Maybe you're protecting yourself. Maybe you're throwing somebody's shit out on the front yard where it belonged. Right? My point is, this dumb cunt right here is telling you that if you've been convicted of a misdemeanor crime, domestic violence, you should never be allowed to possess a firearm in your life. You should be blocked from. Now, you want to talk about taking away your rights one little piece at a time. This is it. And this is when the NRA folds their arms and stands there like this and says, fuck you. We're not letting you do it. And if you wanted to pass your Women's Violence Rights Act and it was so fucking important to people like you, then why did you put in a poison pill that you knew was going to kill the bill? You fucking killed the goddamn bill. Yo, Enoch, what's up? I got your box sitting right here, bro. With your guitar pick in it. She made an allegation slightly more serious than domestic violence. Yeah, I understand. It's anecdotal there at this point. I'm just saying, some of us have been accused of it, and should we not be allowed to possess a firearm? Hey, man, because I got accused of domestic violence 25, 30 years ago. Should I not be allowed to possess a gun? Have I gone out and killed somebody with my gun? Have I gone out and shot anybody with my gun? Oh, that's right. No, I haven't. So she's wrong. Anecdotally, I just proved her wrong. It seems to work for me, not being banned from guns my whole life. Now, granted, I was never convicted of misdemeanor domestic violence, but what the fuck is misdemeanor domestic abuse anyway? What is that? What is misdemeanor domestic abuse? Yelling? Is it pushing someone down and not hurting them? Is it assaulting them without causing physical harm? You know, maybe you slap someone across the face, but they are not bleeding and they've got no scars to show or prove. I don't know what misdemeanor domestic violence is. But I'll say this. I'll trust just about anybody in the world that's been convicted of misdemeanor domestic violence with their right to possess a firearm. And I'm not going to try to take it away from them. Who's the next marginalized group, you dumb fucking cunt? Who is the next marginalized group? Who's the next marginalized group going to be? Because that's how you do it. One group at a time. Oh, well, these people can't do it. Now these people can't do it. Now, next thing you know, nobody can do it. And that's how they do it. They got to get your toe in the water first. And that's what they're doing. They're trying to stick your toe in the water. Warm you up to getting used to having them strip you of your fucking gun rights. Let me tell you something, guys. I'm not a right-winger. I'm not a Republican. I hate fucking Donald Trump. You all know that about me. But protecting your gun rights is one thing that the Republicans seem to understand. And if I've ever told you on here in the last year or two that you can learn from people that you always disagree with, this is that one of those times right now. They are right on the right when it comes to your gun rights. And somebody came in here before and trying to talk caliber sizes and shit. That's just fucking stupid. If the government's got it, then we should have it. If the government doesn't want us to have it, then they can get rid of it. Period. You know? We need to have equal firepower to control our corrupt fucking government that goes around, who takes our tax dollars and practices imperialism on innocent people. 90% of drone strike victims are innocent victims. Do you understand that? 90% of American drone strike victims are innocents, guys. 90%. If we killed 10 bad guys, then we murdered 90 innocent people. And understand, we killed more than 10 bad guys. I don't know how else to fucking tell you that our government's corrupt as fuck. Let's keep listening because this gets really juicy, Junior. Real juicy.
And for the last few years, senators have been trying to expand that prohibition to not just married partners, but to those who live together or those who share a child, but also those who are dating partners or stalkers and others covered by a protection order. But, well, the NRA didn't like it. They opposed a limitation on gun ownership in general, even in spite of the obvious truth that it made women and children more vulnerable to violence.
See, Newsweek reported it correctly. Newsweek said parts. You guys see that? That's very important. That's why I paused it. Newsweek said parts. It says Senate GOP NRA opposed Parts of Violence Against Women Act as COVID-related domestic abuse rises. Parts. You guys see that? Newsweek reported that correctly. Parts. Why did you put those parts in there, libs? You shit lib motherfuckers. You fucking gun-grabbing cunt bitches. We want you to pass legislation to protect women. We love women. And when I say we, I mean Americans who still support our rights to own a firearm. We want this. It's just, you see that word over there? Parts. You put stupid shit in there. And luckily, people like Ted Cruz and Rand Paul are in that Senate reading your legislation, calling it out, calling it to everyone's attention, and making sure that they stand against your poison pills. And stop poisoning the goddamn bills with your fucking poison pills. How about that, Dems? How about that, Dems? How about that? You know, I want to pass some legislation. This is why I stopped voting for you cuck bitches. This is a fucking joke. It's almost like you're working together to pass no legislation just so people keep voting for both sides. It's like, yeah, the Republicans will keep voting Republican because they're protecting the gun rights. The Democrats are going to keep voting Democrat because they support women's rights. And nothing gets done. You know, if it wasn't a commentary repeated ad nauseum, and by ad nauseum, I mean if it wasn't something that was said over and over again by countless pundits and intelligent minds throughout history, it would be fucking comical. But it's one big party and you ain't in it. You know, it ain't left and right. It ain't red and blue. It's not Republican and Democrat. It's one giant club. That's what that's what George Carlin says. It's one giant club and you ain't in it. It's one giant club and I ain't in it either. If it's Republicans and Democrats, I ain't in it. I ain't in that fucking club. And I'm just amazed at the young minds today of people that choose one or the other. When you see shit like this, it's so blatant. It's in your face. All you got to do is pause the video to see it for what it is. Parts. Why are those parts in there? They weren't in there before. Why did you add that in there? Liberals, Democrats, why did you do it? House free. And now look at the way ABC, I want you to look at the narrative now, the spin. So that's the actual news, Newsweek. Okay, here's the fucking left-wing spin. House Republicans at NRA's urging vote against Violence Against Women Act, not parts of it that they disagree with. No. House Republicans hate women. That's what that ABC News headline says right there. House Republicans hate women. You got to see that for what it is. It's just that's the media industrial complex at work right there. ABC News, part of it. Newsweek rising above and reporting the news properly. So you can see. And I'm glad. It's unbelievable that CNN put both of those headlines up there and contrasted them. It's almost like they think that you're so stupid that you're not going to catch it. But you caught it, didn't you? All know, don't you? Now you all know.
More vulnerable to abuse and more likely to be killed by their abuser, who would now have the means to kill.
Wait, okay. More likely to be killed by their misdemeanor abuser who may have gotten into a shoving match with you or may have slapped you back, you know, or may have cursed you or screamed at you outside, or I don't know, misdemeanor. What's a misdemeanor domestic abuse? I don't know. I'm guessing here. I'm just doing this. You know, if anybody knows what misdemeanor domestic abuse is, I'm just going to go here and say I trust those people with guns, with their guns and their gun rights. And I'm not trying to take their gun. I'm not trying to marginalize that group of people and say, oh, for some reason, you people. I wonder this. Can a convicted pedophile own a firearm? I don't know. Can a rapist, a convicted rapist that gets out of prison own a firearm? Can a convicted felon eventually get expunged and own a firearm? Does it matter what state you're in? I don't know. Can an animal abuser own a firearm when they get out of prison? Can someone who got in a bar fight, let's say you got in a bar fight and you beat somebody up really bad and they went to the hospital, you go to jail for that. When you get out, are you still allowed to own a firearm? Let's say you get convicted of resisting arrest. Are you no longer allowed to possess a firearm? You were violent towards a police officer, supposedly. Where does it stop, man? Hey, JC Wiley, what's up? Nick, My state capital, highest homicide rate in the world, has for decades. Joel, America would be worse than Australia. Huh. Right, Joel? They all throw something in a bill sometime at the last minute. Yeah, they shouldn't allow that. They should not have that. Period. It's just dumb. I'll start screaming about it. It's not even worth screaming about. It's so stupid. It's like we're gonna play Rock'em Sock'em Robots, the little plastic boxer dudes, right? But I'm gonna bring a steel sledgehammer that weighs 12 pounds while you're sitting there with a little plastic Rock'em Sock'em robot, and I'm gonna take my sledgehammer and I'm gonna go whap on your little plastic Rock'em Sock'em robot. I'm gonna destroy the whole goddamn ring and the table that the game was sitting on with my sledgehammer. And another topic, we had a lot of devil worshippers stealing and digging up graves and cemeteries doing practices. Felons can get, that's Joel, Nick. Felons get their arms rights back if it's not certain charges, such as an act of violence in my state. Felons can get their arms rights back if it's not certain charges. Wow. And she wants to go after people for misdemeanors, bro. And she wants to take, if you've been convicted of a misdemeanor charge, she wants your gun rights taken away. Why? When felons can get their guns back, if it's nonviolent felony, you can get it expunged. Huh. Is misdemeanor domestic abuse nonviolent? Let's Google that shit, because I don't know. I was hoping somebody was going to tell me. Okay, Google. Oh, where's my Googler? I do not know. I do not know where my Googler is. Where's my Googler? Where's my Googler? Do not know. I do not know. I do not know where my Googler is. I do not know. I remember, you know what's really funny is I remember putting it somewhere upside down, face down. I remember laying it face down on something and thinking, I know it's right there. I'm laying it face down. I don't know where my Googler is. Can somebody look that up for me? Here, wait. I'll just use my internet here. Misdemeanor domestic violence definition. The law defines domestic abuse as bodily injury inflicted on a current spouse, cohabitant, former spouse, or parent of your child. Most of the time, domestic violence is charged as a misdemeanor offense. Whoa. However, it's escalated to felony charge if bodily harm or sexual assault was caused to a minor. So you cause bodily harm to an adult, that's misdemeanor. That's misdemeanor. That's misdemeanor domestic abuse, right? It's escalated to felony. That's California, though. So that's just California. I don't know where it is other places. What's a misdemeanor crime of domestic violence? Here we go. ATF.gov. Is a misdemeanor under federal, state, tribal law has an element of the use or attempted use of physical force or the threatened use of a deadly weapon. So, bro, if me and my girl are sitting here arguing, literally, and she's right there in the kitchen, right? And she's standing right there, and I'm right here, and we're doing a live stream, and her and I start arguing, and she comes over to where my knife thing is, and she grabs the knife, and she goes, "You better shut the fuck up." Like that. She's guilty of misdemeanor Okay, I got you. That's one case. That could definitely be one case. Should she no longer ever be allowed to possess a firearm? I disagree. I totally disagree with that. So that's just one. I wonder how many other different scenarios there would be. Let's look into that. What else? Let me make this bigger for my little tiny poor eyesight. Horrible font. They're using a bad font. Has an element of the use of attempted use of physical force or the threatened use of a deadly weapon. So, okay, let me give you another example. This one's even better. I'm here. We're arguing. She comes to the window. She says, "Don't make me grab a fucking knife." Boom, she's guilty. And it's on video, and I just play that before a jury, and the judge says, if someone is threatening that they're going to use a weapon for violence against you, then they're guilty. Should she no longer be allowed to own a gun? If you have an iPhone, you can call out to Siri. I don't have an iPhone. No, if you cause bodily harm, it's felony assault. Right. Right. Let's keep reading, Billy, because it's different in different states. And this right here is from ATF. This is federal. So these are federal charges. These are the ones I want to go with. And it says, has as an element the use or attempted use of physical force. The use of physical force or attempted use is a misdemeanor, bro. Now, when it comes to harm, so like if I come up behind my girlfriend and I put my arms around her and I hold her from walking away from me, and I don't harm her, but I kind of like kidnap her for a second or two with my arms and then let her go. That's misdemeanor. If she wants to charge me, that's misdemeanor domestic violence considered under federal law. If I were to grab her and push her down on the ground and hurt her, and she could establish that, that would be upgraded to a felony. So check this out. I grab her, right, because she's screaming at me. And the dog, right, this could be a very real scenario. This literally happened to me once, okay? And it literally happened. I had only snorted half a line of ultra potent super male vitality. And my girlfriend was screaming at me so loud that my dog the hair raised up on the back of his neck, and he got into a defensive, or what I perceived to be an offensive position. So to protect her from upsetting the dog to the point that the dog was going to attack her, I put my arms around her and tried to calm her down. And in doing so, she actually trips, falls down, and hits her head on the side of the I've got a stone trying to show you guys here. Stone edge there for my fireplace. And let's say I'm trying to calm her down for her own benefit because I know the dog attacking her could rip her wide open, right? And so I go like this to try to calm her down, and she tries to get away from me and falls over backwards and hits her head on that, and maybe she gets killed, or maybe she gets aneurysm or horrible injury or whatever. And then I would be, even if I was trying to do the right thing at that moment, I was trying to save her. I was trying to protect her from the dog. And if that happened and the police came in and say she was dead, and they just said, "Oh, dude, you just killed her," I'd be like, no, I try to explain to them exactly what happened, and it's on video. It's literally on video. They could see it. Look, this is what happened. And they would be, okay, we don't perceive this as you murdering her, but we do perceive this as you committing to a felony domestic violence against her. And we're going to charge you with felony domestic violence resulting in a death, right? Manslaughter, whatever. Would a person that was in that situation deserve to never have a firearm again for the rest of their life? I disagree, man. Especially if that shit was on video and you could see that was not a violent person. In fact, they were doing the only thing they thought they could do at that moment. You know, there's just so much. There's so much to any case like that I wouldn't want a legislation passed that where anybody that's committed that is immediately can no longer defend themselves with a firearm. It's preposterous. And for her to sit there with that condescending look on her face and those 6-inch long eyelashes, oh God, man, bro, I went to the comment section on Twitter and it's all pro this argument. Everyone was like, I'm like, man, I'd like to take that and share it with some right-wing Twitter feeds and some like send it off to Charlie Kirk and Ben Shapiro and Tim Pool and get a whole bunch of people that support gun rights to come up against this. Because on Twitter, when you look at it, it appears that all of America supports this. Listen, like I said, it's going to get real juicy here, Junior. Watch. Let's do another juicy bong rip.
So many times as a prosecutor looking at domestic violence, and the first thing we would ask is how a gun be allowed to be in the possession. But you would think, in examining it, you wonder who should have been more powerful in these negotiations. Women and children who have every right to be protected from violence, or a gun lobbying organization like the NRA. We talk a good game in this country about how we want a government to be of the people and by the people and for the people. But times like this remind us that it is increasingly.
You guys think about this. Oh my God, I just realized something. Isn't there a reason we have felonies and misdemeanor charges? Because we perceive one of those to be lesser of the two and punishable by less than the other. We perceive a misdemeanor charge to require less punishment because we perceive a felony charge to be more serious and to require more punishment because it was harsh. It was harsher. It was a harsher crime, right? So it deserves a harsher punishment, right? What she's trying to do here is turn misdemeanors into felonies. There's a reason they call those misdemeanors. Because sometimes you need to understand, man, couples fuck, right? Couples play tennis together. Couples get physical together. They garden together. They get dirty together. Sometimes they get into an argument. They might get physical together during that argument. Should both of them have their gun rights taken away? That's why that's called misdemeanor. This woman is a psycho. And I said it's going to get juicy, Junior. Real juicy. Real juicy, Junior. Real juicy. I love doing that. I wonder if anybody ever gets my movie references. Cheers. No law regarding real juicy, Junior. Real juicy.
Becoming a government of the
Plant number 2.
By the special interests. And frankly, for the love of money. And even when it means violence against women persists. I guess just as long as you don't upset the apple.
So she just lied to you. She just strawmanned you. She just claimed that misdemeanor offenders that get to retain their firearm permits and possession are going to use those firearms against their family members. That's what she just said. If they didn't use their firearm in the misdemeanor Why would they use it in the future? Especially after they've already been charged, had to go to court, had to go to, maybe they had to serve probation or go to jail, pay fines. Thought we're supposed to be able to correct this behavior with these laws, right? What are you worried about? Stop bastardizing laws. You know, stop shitting all over. You're smearing your feces all over a law that's already been there, and you expect people to accept it. We're not going to accept your feces on a law. You know, we like the law the way it was. I say bring back that law the way it was.
Part of the NRA. Well, apparently the little ladies can take a seat. Now look, maybe.
You hear that? She said little ladies. So she's trying to put another piece of straw there, making it sound like this has something to do with sexism. And I want you to hear her say those words, little ladies. That was intentional.
Altruism is an apple cart of the NRA. Well, apparently the little ladies can take a seat. Apple cart of the NRA. As long as you don't upset the apple cart of the NRA, well, apparently the little ladies can take a seat.
Let me tell you something. There's a lot of little ladies out there that support the NRA. They're card-carrying, gun-toting members. So don't even try to go there. You know, it's got nothing to do with sexism. It's gun rights. So that's a massive piece of straw. And the way she said that, you know, that's learned behavior. What she just did right there. She saw someone else use that tactic when trying to convince people of stuff, and she thought it was a good idea enough to try to straw man you with that right there. You know, she thinks she's real clever with her straw manning.
Now look, maybe altruism isn't your thing.
I like the way she does that. She goes like this. She goes, now look, maybe altruism isn't your... It's like she's so over dramatic. Did you see that? It's so overplayed. It's almost as if she doesn't buy her own bullshit.
Maybe you only see the bottom line. Okay, well, how about this?
She's talking with her hands.
Recall that the Air Force was just forced to pay $230 million to survivors and families of those killed in the 2017 mass shooting at the First Baptist Church in Sutherland Springs.
Right. And what's this got to do with gun rights exactly? Straw man piece number fucking 57.
On Monday, a federal judge found the military was mostly at fault, but then to report the shooter's domestic violence-related convictions to the FBI.
Okay.
Which could have prevented him from purchasing the semi-automatic rifle that he used in that mass shooting.
Fair enough.
You realize he fired more than 450 rounds into that church? He killed 26 people, including a pregnant woman. How did the NRA respond? Well, they doubled down on the myth that the only way to stop a bad guy with a gun is with a good guy with a gun.
What does that have to do with you and liberals supporting something that was placed into a bill that takes the rights of misdemeanor domestic violence perpetrators away? What's this got to do with taking their gun rights away? Oh, I didn't realize what it was, and now I know exactly what it is. You guys know what it is, right? Let's go full screen. Yeah, it's nothing.
When really, the bad guy with the gun shouldn't have had it in the first place. It's a loophole, though, nonetheless supported by the NRA.
Okay, so the bad guy with the gun in that one case turns out to be a fucking crazy mass shooter. And her piece of straw here is that if you commit misdemeanor domestic violence, which I wonder if she's ever committed misdemeanor domestic violence. She ever slapped a boyfriend before? You ever pushed your boyfriend? You ever punched him in his arm? You ever screamed in his face? Huh. Now, I don't know her personally, but I will tell you this. I've been screamed at by my girlfriends before right in my face. And you know the expression that was on their face while they were doing it? I'm not calling her a misdemeanor domestic abuser. I'm just saying, man, that expression certainly looks familiar to me. And it might be, you know, that old expression I can't use because that would make me racist as fuck. But it might be the Ferrari calling the Porsche a race car. You know?
But what won't the NRA support? Well, lawful gun owners like maybe Amir Locke or Philando Castile, killed by police officers in my home state of Minnesota. Apparently, those aren't the kinds of causes they prioritize. I mean, lawfully carrying a gun and alerting the police of its presence when the car you are driving in is pulled over? Not sure this is the right case for us in the NRA.
What?
A man sleeping.
What? NRA silent as Amir Locke slain by police for having a gun he legally owned. Philando Castile case asked whose Second Amendment right is protected. Opinion. Once again, the police have killed a black man for legally possessing a gun. Dude, I don't know where she is right now, guys. I'm so lost. I got so lost. So let me just back it up. We're at 553 out of 626. I'm so sorry. What's the point right here? Let's go back to 520.
Place. It's a loophole, though, nonetheless supported by the NRA. But what won't the NRA support?
Oh.
Well, lawful gun owners like.
Okay. So now she's going off the track of what we're talking about. She's attacking the NRA, basically, which, you know, that's legitimate. That's fine. Attack the NRA. I understand they're definitely, they've got their issues that you can definitely attack, you know, but at the same time, attacking them isn't addressing the problem at all. So it's kind of like you're doing a personal attack. If the NRA was a human being that you were disagreeing with right now, let's say you were debating the NRA, and let's say the NRA was just one person, you know, and they're sitting there with you and you're having a debate, and you now start saying, oh, well, forget about what we're talking about right now. In the past, you've done this, that, and the other. That's what she's going to do right now, I guess. That's what she's going to. Let's go back 5 minutes because she went back. She's trying to say the NRA found its hero. Dude, this is crazy. I don't want to sit here and support. I don't want to sit here and defend the NRA. They can defend themselves. But what she's doing, I'm looking at what she was talking about because she kind of lost me. And there's a reason she lost me, because she stopped talking about the subject. You know, the subject here is they're having a problem renewing the Violence Against Women Act. And she's telling you how awful the NRA is and all the things they've done in the past. And it's just so far off of what you guys understand that? This is so much straw manning right here, man. This is like, okay, so let's say I want to debate her right now. So I'm going to find out her name, which I don't know. I do know her name. Laura, it's an interesting last name. It's kind of like has something to do with construction materials or something. Laura something here. Laura Coates. Like I was thinking of coat, like you're coating something. Laura Coates, construction material. So we could go look up Laura Coates, and find out all the bad, horrible things she's done. Let's find out all the corporations she's worked for. Let's find out who pays her. Let's find out what she's about. And then coming here and then trying to have a debate about women's rights and just talking about all the bad shit that she's done in the past. That's silly, isn't it? And yet, this is a CNN pundit that is doing this, and the audience sits there and doesn't slow it down and stop it and listen and realize all the bullshit that she's laying at their feet. The one thing that should trigger their minds right here is gun rights, misdemeanor domestic violence, convicted of misdemeanor domestic violence. If it's been you, yeah, she's talking about you. So remember that. She's talking about a lot of people, man. How many people have? Let's find out. Okay, Google. I don't know where my Googler is. I do not know where my Googler is. Total number of people convicted of misdemeanor domestic abuse in the United States last year. It's 21. I want 20. No, 2021. No, I want 2021. It said 25. It's like 25,000 people or something. That I don't know if that was right. That's how many records that said they were just popped up there. You get shit on too often. These are about domestic violence and abuse. Domestic violence statistics. How many domestic violence cases are reported each year in the United States? Between 960,000 and 3 million incidents of domestic violence are reported each year. So there you go, guys. She wants to take the rights away from millions of people. That comes from Wikipedia. And I'll show it to you guys so you can see it, okay? This is what she's trying to do. It's a fucking joke. You be thankful for the goddamn NRA. Just over this alone, guys. How many domestic violence cases are reported each year in the United States? Between 960,000 and 3 million incidents of domestic violence are reported each year, while many other incidents go unreported. It's estimated more than 10 million people. I missed that part because it wasn't in bold. Experienced domestic violence in the U.S. So there's 10 million perpetrators. So she wants the gun rights taken away from 10 million Americans, guys. And you need to be thankful for the NRA for pointing this out. So someone like me, that's they're 100% crazy over there at the NRA. Okay, I'm 97% crazy. Republicans are 99% crazy. I'm 97% crazy. So someone like me can explain it to you so that you can understand that. I'm thankful that information was available on the internet, wikipedia.org. Now let's listen to her shit talk the NRA. That's fine.
Realize he fired more than 450.
If this is how she feels that she's going to argue for women's rights by going after the NRA over gun rights, okay, let's just see what she has to say. I'll see her
He killed 26 people, including a pregnant woman. How did the NRA respond? Well, they doubled down on the myth that the only way to stop a bad guy with a gun is with a good guy with a gun. When really, the bad guy with the gun shouldn't have had it in the first place.
Well, no, I think I've got an argument for this. So let me just give you my gun rights argument right here for people that wonder and think that that's a good argument. I agree. Okay. We choose to have our banks where we keep our money guarded with security guards, armed guards. Not every bank in the United States has an armed security guard, but many that I've walked into did. It's the way it was for a long time. And if your money is precious enough to have an armed guard, so should your synagogues, your churches, and of course, your schools, your college campuses, your shopping malls. Hey, man, when you go shopping, you ever see armed security guards? You ever see them driving around the parking lot? Hey, you ever see them walking through the mall? Does it unsettle you when you see 2 or 3 police officers eating lunch in the mall and they're armed and they stopped in the mall to get something to eat? And then they're walking through the mall to come out. Does that make you feel uncomfortable? If your money is that precious, if your malls are that precious that you have armed guards in them, then your schools and your churches, absolutely go ahead and get some armed people out there, arm some teachers and train them. I have no problem with that at all. She tries to use that like a piece of straw, like it was bad.
It's a loophole, though, nonetheless supported by the NRA. But what won't the NRA support?
Okay, let's find out.
Well, lawful gun owners like maybe Amir Locke or Philando Castile, killed by police officers in my home state of Minnesota. Apparently, those aren't the kinds of causes they prioritize. I mean, lawfully carrying a gun and alerting the police of its presence when the car you are driving in is pulled over? I'm not sure this is the right case for us in the NRA. A man sleeping under a blanket jolted awake by a no-knock warrant being executed, even when it wasn't.
Hey, man, let me just say this. Does the NRA have to take a position on everything? You guys know what's going on with the People's Party right now with Nick Brana and the People's Party. The argument was he wanted to take a solid position on mandates for the People's Party. And the people that are inside that party disagreed with him wanting to have a vote across the board. He felt it was no mandates was important and big enough of an issue that it should just be a policy that the People's Party should stand behind. Okay, let me just say this. Nick Brana, I don't like you. I don't think you make a good leader. This is one of the reasons right here is the fact that you have a hard time controlling your party. At the same time, I agree with you. I totally agree with you. It should be one of your stances, anti-mandate. Absolutely. I don't know what the fuck those people in your People's Party are thinking. I got to go back and tie that all together, right? Or is it tied? Is it tied together enough? Did I tie it together enough? God, I hope I did. I hope I didn't leave any strings dangling there because I'm really high.
Even intended for him? Well, I'm not sure we had the time or maybe the resource.
Oh, yeah. Not taking a position on something. Right? So what I was saying was not everybody takes a position on something because, Nick Brana feels strongly about mandates and I feel strongly about mandates. Those people don't want to alienate people that might be supportive of them that would join their party. And while I understand that, and I understand Nick's point of view, that is why, the NRA might not take stand stances on certain issues for whatever reason. They don't want to lose potential support. And that might be political as fuck, but it's just a piece of straw in this case because it's got nothing to do with women's rights. But let her keep throwing pieces of straw on this massive dumpster fire of a straw fire she's building here.
Versus a convicted stalker who wants to carry a gun for the next time he violates a restraining order. Ding, 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 ding. Now that's in our line with our mission statement. And the fact that Congress's mission was thwarted for 3 years because of it, my, that is quite a statement, America. I rest my case.
I don't think you did a very good job. I think I argued every point that you made. I could have even argued the very last two things that you said. I chose not to. I think it's she's got a very weak argument. She comes from a very weak place. And she's trying to take gun rights away from 10 million. I didn't even realize that, guys. 10 million Americans. She's trying to take the gun rights away from. I should tweet that. Here, watch this. Watch this retweet to her.
So
ding, 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 ding. I should say ding, 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 like she said. Ding, 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 ding. And then put the little celebratory. I love my little celebratory face. My little party face. Trying to take gun rights away from 10 million Americans. Ding, 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 ding. Priceless. Okay, let me try to see how I can make this all fit. Okay, this is all going to fit. Oh, yeah, it's perfect. Boom. Laura Coates.
oh, we need to talk about it.
God, it's squeaky. So squeaky and annoying. She's annoying. I'm going to just tweet this. Copy. Let's go back. Is it going to start every time I say it? Okay, cool. I want to retweet this with a quote tweet that says this. There, it's tweeted. I tweeted it all 16 ways to Sunday. Dude, I tweeted that so many ways, bro. I tweeted it up top. I tweeted it down below, man. What are you performing? I was like, I could sing you a song. Billy Valentine.
It's called blue cheese because it comes from the milk of a blue jay. It's called blue cheese.
A blue jay? Dude, is that what Billy said? Oh my God. Dude. I just need a fucking birdie emote. I'm gonna be so good at this now. Bird. Where's a fucking blue jay? There. I tweeted a fucking blue jay. I'll take dumbass ideas that are never gonna happen for 500. I heard you engage Karen mode and asked to speak to the bad guy's manager, Josh G. Makes me feel more safe. Oh, let me go back. I missed some of your. Hey, you guys all join Twitter, okay? Join me on Twitter at Nave's Garden. Download it, do all that shit, okay? Don't forget. Get on Twitter, guys. Why is it people who want. I'm at Nave's Garden on Twitter. Why is it people who want to strip gun rights? I've never personally used a firearm. Can't stay in the building when they have no grounds to do so. I don't know. You need to understand it's about protecting yourself, protecting your liberty, dude. It's if you have a problem understanding that, check out Dave Champion Liberty on Facebook. I wonder if he's still doing his shit. Say, do you think she'd apply the same thinking to women? He probably got kicked off of Facebook. I don't know. You got this too often. What is her solution to that then? The only way to stop the bad guys with a good guy with a gun is that literally what we do. I mean, yeah, it is. It's literally what we do with banks, at least, and with shopping malls, Makes me feel more safe. Josh G, I heard you engage Karen mode and asked to speak to the bad guy's manager. Okay. She's really so annoying. She's the kind of woman that abuses. I know. She'd be the first one to get her gun rights taken away. She's probably got a big old fucking 357 Magnum in her purse. Twitter actually opened. Wow, says Nick. Good. I am glad. Whoa. What the fuck just happened to my goddamn screen? Twitter. Lenny, what's up, buddy? To pull profits or not to pull profits, that is the question. To pull profits or not to pull profits. Why is that not the chat, man? That's so stupid that it does that. When literally it was chat. I have to program for this every time. I don't know. Is there a way to save these settings, man? Lock position? What if I do that? chat. Lock position. But will that change the chat? Lock chat. There it goes. Beflow. There we go. Okay. Psst. Unreal, pal. Celsius is live right now. Ask me anything. I'd like to ask him a fucking question. Where the fuck is the goddamn what happened to the fucking Bitcoin's come down a little bit from where it was. What am I trying to say? XRP. What happened to fucking Ripple? Where's the goddamn Ripple fucking I mean, why did I move my Ripple there if you're not going to give me fucking APY on it? Where's the goddamn APY on Ripple? You know? I guess I could just email them and ask them that. You got COVID, Lenny? Oh my God. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. Dude, I tweeted the fuck out of her goddamn anti-gun. You know, just so people know what exactly domestic violence is. I'm going to tweet that out too. What are you addicted to? Podcasting? I'm doing it right now. It doesn't take long to type that. Somebody asked on Twitter, what are you addicted to? I said hashtag podcasting. That's my fucking addiction. I've literally just got this whole setup for it, you know? The Dow's up 800 points. Are you kidding me, bro? Are you fucking kidding me? The Dow's up 800 points? Jesus Christ, man. That's fucking great. My Beezle, my Beezle. Beezle. He's my bees. Beezling along. Wait now. So this goes here. This goes here. Oops. Heel. Chill. Beezle. How many stairs chains. How many lives are living strange? Where will you, where will we get high? Slowly walking down the hall, faster than I can run. Where will you, where will we get high? Someday you will find me caught beneath the landslide in champagne supernova in the sky. Someday you will find me caught beneath the landslide like a champagne supernova. The champagne supernova in the sky. Wake up the dawn and ask me why. Some dreams, she never dies. Wipe that tear away now from your eye. Slowly walking down the hall, faster than a cannonball. Where will you, I'll be again tonight. Someday you will find me caught beneath the landslide like a champagne in the sky. Someday you will find me caught beneath the landslide like a champagne supernova. A champagne supernova. 'Cause we don't believe that we're gonna get away for the summer. But you and I will never die. The world's still spinning round. We don't know why. Someday you will find me caught beneath the landslide like a champagne supernova in the sky. Someday you will find me caught beneath the landslide like a champagne supernova. A champagne supernova. 'Cause we don't believe that we're gonna get away for the summer. But you and I will never die. The world's still spinning round and don't know why. let some people change. How many lives are living strange? Where were you while we were getting high? We were getting high. 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 Probably should move the amp away from the mic. Really? Yeah, Brad, probably not. I forgot how it goes. I literally just forgot how the finger tap part goes. The mic gets distorted. Actually, sound a little better after you turn it up. Yeah, I didn't think the mic was distorted. I think you just were misperceiving how the guitar was sounding. I did not know what to do. I think I lost myself when I lost my motivation. Now I'm wandering around the city, just waiting to come to. Three strange days. Yeah, with this sickening dream, sickening. So I put up the chair, started drinking by myself. No matter what it takes. Yeah. Been down for a while, and I woke up on the ocean, floating on my back, staring the rain. My hand's completely numb. I can't even feel it. I should just stop right now. I'm just pressing too hard on the strings, man. If I wouldn't do that, I'd be all right. But I never had that problem when I was a kid. Now, for some reason, my fingers go numb. I just keep fucking working out, man. You know? I'm trying to get stronger. Changes are permanent. So he gets high on you, and the space you invades and gets by on. I don't mind it coming here. It's all my time. When you're standing oh so near, I kind of lose my mind. Yeah, it's not the button that you wear. It's not the ring in your head. I don't mind it coming here. It's not my time. I don't mind you hanging out. You're talking in your sleep. Yeah, hell, I know that. It doesn't matter where you've been, as long as it was deep. Yeah, you always know very well. You look so fancy, I can tell. I don't mind you hanging out. You're talking in your sleep. Oh, you just wanna be there. I'll give you someone to keep. I'll give you just wanna be there. I'll give you someone to keep. I don't mind you coming here. Waste all my time and time. When you're standing oh so near, I can't lose my mind. Yeah, you always knew very well. You look so fancy, I can tell. I don't mind you now. I needed someone to please. I think you're just what I needed. I needed someone to keep. I think you're just what I needed. I needed someone to keep. Yeah, so please me. You're just what I needed. You're just what I needed. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you're just what I needed. Yeah, yeah. All right, you guys, thanks so much for watching. I will see you on the next show. I love you guys. I'll see ya. Peace.